Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight, show presented by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. And we have the owners of the Tavern Empire, Tavern at Trails End, Tavern Smokehouse, and the new Tavern Italian restaurant, Trattoria. They say it better than I say it. And it's John and Sherri Buchanan. Thank you guys for coming down. Appreciate
our
it
pleasure.
very much. Good to have you here. Let's talk a little bit about Tavern at Trails End. That's kind of where you started here at the lake anyway. But this wasn't your first restaurant, right? You've had restaurants before coming to the lake. Where were those at?
Well, this is our first that we've owned.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yes, first that we've owned. But underneath my resume, I have opened 9.
Okay.
Yes.
So you had the experience of opening them for other owners.
Yes.
And then you came here and go, hey, we're going to do the ownership thing.
Yes.
But you knew what you were doing
Exactly.
when you opened it all up. I love the history of the Tavern at Trails End. You sent me the kind of some of the history. So the front part of the building's more than 100 years old, built entirely of logs, I
Yes.
think, with an Ozark stone fireplace.
Yes.
Right, one of the oldest buildings, I think, in the area.
We think we're still trying to find records on it, but that's what we've heard from different people that it's been here forever.
Yeah.
So,
When you were renovating that, did you find anything really cool?
well, it's funny because first of all, when we walked in, the place needed a lot of renovations.
Right.
So we were not sure what was the original building, what was part of the building when it was, what was added on, et cetera. So one of the things we did, we removed 3 different walls from we found the original building, found out where the actual building started and ended, and behind one of the walls there was actually a window there that had a circle hole in it,
Yeah.
which we don't know. It could have been a bullet hole, don't know, but it was actually part of the window frame in one of the 4 squares, and I kind of wanted to keep it, but at the same time, you never know about the glass breaking, so eventually we took the glass part out, but that window is there. Nobody knew it was there because it's been covered up for all these years.
Interesting.
So then we saw the rest of the logs. You can see the original chinking behind them. And that's where we found out where the real front porch door was originally, and then some of the other things.
Wow.
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, and that's just the beginning, because about 50 years ago, husband and wife team founded Trails End,
Yes.
which is why you kept
Yes.
that name.
Yeah, well, we didn't even know it actually.
Well, kind of the story behind that, we named the restaurant after the road,
Really?
Tavern at Trails End, Trails End Road, only to find out it was Trails End Restaurant. The road was named after the restaurant.
Yes.
Wow.
So, but people do say that, oh, that was so great, you kept the original name. I'm like, yeah, that was our plan all
That
along.
was it.
Yeah.
That's why we did it.
Right.
Right. And that's not even the end of it, because then Dolly Baker came along.
Yes.
Hurricane Dolly.
Yes.
Iconic dive bar
Yes.
here at the lake.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Boy, that thing was filled with smoke all the time.
All
man.
the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And then you found a slab of cement when you were renovating that called the Rambling Rose. What was that?
Go ahead.
Well, apparently they think years ago it was a brothel.
Really?
Yes, and that's what they called it, was the Rambling Rose. And was it the 2 sisters that?
Yes.
So
The
that's
2 sisters ran the brothel?
I don't remember.
That's the folklore.
Wow, okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, a couple of sisters actually lived there and
Yes.
maybe ran the brothel out of there.
That's what we think.
That's quite amazing history
It
right
is.
up there.
It is.
So I mean, just go there for the history, if for nothing else. But the food is pretty amazing. And you guys, this was the first restaurant for you at the lake. Did you go in specifically with the idea that we're going to do this food, we're going to make it great, and kind of get things off and running?
Totally.
Yeah, 100%. The first menu I ran, how many menus am I on now?
8 or 9, I don't even
Right.
know.
Just at Tavern at Trails End?
I change my menus minimum 2, if not 3 times a year.
Really? Why do you do that?
Just to keep it fresh. Number 1, I believe in keeping a small menu because I believe in doing 25 things close to perfection instead of doing 100 things okay.
Right.
You know, how many restaurants you go through and you're starving, you're just flipping and flipping and flipping and so it's literally, you flip open a menu and there it is, it's right in front of you.
Yeah.
But the array of food that I have, it's all over the place. I have Polynesian on there, with, and the Korean sticky ribs are on there, but I also have, a little Italian twist on there. I have a short rib bolognese that is actually her family recipe for a long time.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's just all different types of creation of food on this menu. I don't want to be known for a steakhouse. I don't be known for a seafood house. The only 2 definite, restaurants that I have that is culinary specific is the Tavern Smokehouse, which is barbecue.
Right.
And then the Trattoria, which is
Italian,
Italian.
right.
But the Smokehouse is, the
Trails End.
Tavern at Trails End is kind of my baby that I just mix things up.
Oh, wow. Okay. And that was the plan,
That
right?
was the
when you
plan.
started out.
Yeah.
That's pretty. And you're the executive chef.
That is correct.
Are you the executive chef at all three places, or how does that work?
Yes, that is. So I am at the helm of all things culinary at the restaurant.
Okay.
I do have a pit master at Smokehouse that does a wonderful job. I have a chef and a wonderful sous chef at Trails End, and I have an Italian chef that is hired for the Trattoria.
Right.
But all underneath my direction, my creativity. Not that they don't have their say. When we sit down and do the features, we all get together, put our minds together, come up with a dish, or I'll give them full creativity and taste and critique. Like, okay, well, it needs a little bit more of this, or let's go this direction with it.
Right.
Because the part of fun of being a chef, if you're going to do it, is the creativity.
Absolutely. That's why you're there, really. And you were in that position before you came to the lake and opened your restaurants here, basically.
Yes.
Where so that I'm guessing they will want to move on and do that at some point. And Sherri, you're the chef, and you kind of do everything else.
Yes.
You've done like everything in a restaurant. You've
Yes.
waited tables, you've bartended, you're back of the room finances and all that stuff.
Yes.
So you're kind of the glue that holds everything together, I'm guessing.
I would have to agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, we can't do it without each other. He
Yeah.
cannot run a restaurant without me. I cannot run a restaurant with him because I can't cook unless it's burning toast, which I'm great at. I make the best burnt toast and cereal.
Yeah.
I'm very good at cereal.
And burning noodles. I can burn noodles,
Yes. So I mean, that's true. So yeah, we couldn't be where we are without each other. That's what it boils down to.
That's so cool. And they have an interesting way of starting every day. We'll talk about that when we come back on Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. Central Ozarks Medical Center, voted Missouri's best and best at the lake, is recruiting team members due to growth. Amazing employment opportunities for both medical and non-medical positions with competitive salaries and outstanding perks. For more information, go to the Careers tab at centralozarks.org. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Join a leader. Join our team. COMC, where your health is our mission. Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. We're talking with the owners of the Tavern Empire, Tavern at Trails End, Tavern Smokehouse, and the new Tavern Italian restaurant in Laurie, which is really exciting. So you guys were telling me that you were very conscious of the way you start every day.
Yes.
Try not to get burned out, try to do things right and enjoy lake life. So what do you do every day, or you try to do every day to get things started?
Well, we literally start our morning having coffee. If the weather's nice, we're outside, we're looking at the views, enjoying the scenery, enjoying the lake views. And we just made it a pact when we moved here because, it's work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we sit down, we talk about our day. A lot of people decompress at night. We decompress in the morning.
Right. Because you're working at night.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been a nighttime operation. I've been nighttime operation for 21 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
So mornings and
Yeah, you're a night person.
I'm a night person,
You could
yes.
stay up until 2 and you have to make yourself go to bed at 2.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you a night person or
I
are you a
am,
morning?
yes. I am not a morning person. Do not wake me up before 9 o'clock if I don't need to be up before
Right.
9 o'clock. So that's why it is nice having that cup of coffee in the morning and just discussing what's going to go on for the day, and just relaxing before you start hitting it hard.
And since you live at the lake, you try to do it out looking at the lake.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is pretty smart.
Yes.
And that's another thing you've done at Trails End is when it was Hurricane Dolly's kind of the backside toward the water it was overgrown. You couldn't really see the water, and you've tried to open that up a little bit back there, I think, right?
Well, what's funny is a lot of people didn't even know that location was lakefront.
Yeah.
And it is lakefront. And so I brought in a tree guy, and he cut down, I don't know, 8, 10 trees. He cut them all down, trimmed them back for me. There was a deck there, but we added on to the deck by putting a roof on top of it, so now you can sit out there, not with the direct sun beating down on you.
Yeah.
So we do have seating for 20 people on the deck.
I've never sat out back, but I want to do that. But that's so smart, because nobody's going to sit out there with the sun beating down on them, especially in the summer.
Right.
Correct.
Because that's on the west side where the sun is going down.
Yes.
So, do you have a view back there where you can see the lake and stuff like that?
Oh, yes, we do. In the summertime, you have partial view, but in the wintertime, you can see directly all the way across the lake.
Oh, that's beautiful.
See the trees and
it was hard to believe Hurricane Dolly's didn't do that.
Correct.
Right? Because it's like, that's why we're here.
Well, let's talk focus though. I mean, in Dolly's defense, that's a dive bar.
Well, that's true.
People are going there to drink, have a good time, play some pool, play some darts,
Smoke.
To where smoke. To where ours is food focused.
Yeah.
You want to take your glass of wine, you want to take your Tavern Old Fashioned and have a seat.
Yeah.
And be on that porch and overlook.
Absolutely.
So it's just different ambiance.
Yeah. And you are so good. You're back in the kitchen cooking, and you come out, you walk around, you talk to the different tables.
Absolutely.
Every time I've been there, you've come by the table. How is everything?
Yes.
And by the way, this is the first time we've really met is today.
Correct.
You don't do that because we could be on TV at some point. You do that because that's what you do.
That's what I do. Yeah.
And you are amazing with the people. You're so nice. You're always smiling. I ordered something one time that was kind of an Italian thing, I think. And you said, now that this is sweet.
Yes.
This is not what you normally think of as spaghetti or whatever it was. It's very sweet. So you kind of tell people up front,
Yes.
hey, this might not be what you think it is.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you kind of know what's going on with the food.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it's the same with our servers. We want all our servers to be knowledgeable what the food is. We have them sample everything so that they know what it is, because that way the customer is informed when they're sitting down. They're not getting something that they've never heard of.
Right.
Or they need to know the flavor profile of it, because the chef does design the food a certain way. And so if somebody tries to change it and then they complain about it, we try to let them know, well, this is
Ahead of time. That's my fault. I ordered it. She told me it was going to be sweet,
Yes,
right?
that's
Yeah.
right.
And the logo and the motto of the Tavern at Trails End is life is too short for boring food. And what that means is actually my creed is the fact that I will not do anything that anybody else does.
Correct.
Wow.
You won't see a pork tenderloin sandwich on the menu. I have people say, why don't you have prime rib? I do wonderful prime rib, but so does 5 other restaurants as well.
Right.
So I kind of make it a point to develop the menu that you can come in and have an experience that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Interesting. Okay. That's fascinating. How do you guys stay skinny? I mean, if I owned a restaurant, I would
You do
be-
realize this table
I don't know. You still look like
I
you're-
mean, I like my beverages. I like to eat.
I would be like, as wide as I am tall, I think, if I was in the kitchen all the time cooking.
There's no Chris Hemsworth here,
I think it's just constantly being on the go, constantly running. We're doing here and there. I'm on my feet all the time, going to tables or moving around or helping people do things, and then going to this restaurant and then going to the other. So I think it's constantly moving and not being stagnant, sitting around.
Yeah, that helps.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
You get your exercise moving all the time.
Yes.
And do you get around to the other restaurants? I know Trails End was the starting point. That's where you were for the most part. Now you've got the smokehouse, the Italian restaurant. Do you move around a lot?
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, we're fixing to head over to Smokehouse here shortly. So we share our time.
So you pretty much have to, as the owners, to know what's going on, keep your finger on the pulse of everything.
That's a lot of a lot of the locals at the Tavern at Trails End will say, well, how's this going to work? Where are you going to be?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to talk to you. I'm like, well, one, come up to the new place.
That's right, yeah.
You'll see me there for probably the first month or two. But when things get stabilized, and then we'll float.
Yes.
Right.
That way we can, share the love and talk to customers from both.
And that's why you got to have confidence in the places that we run, that we can step away. So we have full confidence in the people at the Tavern Trails End. We have full confidence in the manager at the Tavern Smokehouse that they can handle it if we're not there.
Yeah.
And they only call us in emergencies.
That's
because we're always going to be somewhere.
That's pretty important. So there they are, John and Sherri Buchanan from the Tavern Empire. Go look them up online. Go see them in person. Thank you for joining us for Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show.